Okay, here's the timing chain guides out to the 2010 Range Rover Supercharged. And thanks to RSW Solutions, I watched this video quite a bit of times, and this is that indention right here that you're seeing, this soft aluminum against this hard steel pin on this tensioner. It just erodes it out over time. So they redesigned it, put the put some type of insert here. I imagine like a harder material, a little bit rounded, and then also the timing chain tensioners are have a different angle, different pitch on the actual pressure pin there. So here's the holes here. I'll line the holes up on top of each other here. You can see this pin, actually the top one comes out at a little bit of an angle to the right, the bottom one comes out to the left. So a little bit of a redesign here, and I was able to pull that guide out without having to take the whole timing chain set out. That's what the motor looks like. Water pump out. The chain is in there still. I couldn't get the valve cover off because of the fuel injectors. They have to come out before you pull that out. I don't have the tool to pop those injectors out of there, and plus I couldn't get that common rail off the top of that for some reason. I didn't try too hard, didn't want to break it, so I realized I can pull this front cover off without having to pull the whole valve cover off. Just loosen the bolts up, lifting it up just a little bit to where you can actually pull this plate off. The crank shaft bolt is a reverse thread, so I had to crank it to the right to loosen it off. And it took quite a bit of torque, had to get a breaker bar on it, and it slowly came loose, so I was a little bit nervous. The starter had to come off to put the locking plate on the actual flywheel and the ring gear. It engaged the ring gear to lock the motor down. I did break a bolt off of it in the starter, so I had to get that bolt out and tap that thread. It's not going to be very strong, but it'll work for now. Other than that, though, it's going all right. Not too bad. The back of the supercharger has this big vacuum system on there, and that was a pain. You had to pull the supercharger off a little bit and get back there to get some screws on the back. There's about 3 screws on a bracket, and then 2 screws that hold this, I guess it's a BCV hose on the back of the supercharger. Anyway, hope it goes back together and I don't turn this thing into a brick.